Hello everyone, we are coming to you live from Silicon Slopes here in Salt Lake City. I'm your host, Jack Cassel, and joining us today for this episode is the founder and CEO of BaconWorks, Hunter Sebresos. Hunter, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, it's my pleasure.
Absolutely, so maybe to just kick things off for the audience, tell us a little bit about Bacon and how that fits into the gig economy.
Sure. So like many other gig economy companies out there, Bacon is presenting a new way to think about work. Okay, and what we specifically do is we have an app that allows companies that have variable demand in terms of their staffing to find people to work for them for as short as a single shift. And then individuals can go to the app, they can look through our marketplace of opportunities and find work that fits their preferences as well as their schedule. And we're talking about opportunities like Vivint Smart Home Arena, where people can work on concessions or in the guest services staff, as well as warehouse and fulfillment centers across the United States in 20 different markets.
Wow, okay. So you're making a bet here, you're supporting this community. What do you think will happen to the gig economy and as we look forward to the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting times for the gig economy. It's continuing to grow right now at a very fast rate, especially coming out of the impact of COVID and the way that the economy has been hit recently. One report says that 16% of all Americans have worked at least one gig opportunity, and that the workforce is growing to 78 million individuals across the globe who are entering the workforce by next year as a gig worker. So it's a fast growing market. It's something that we're excited to be part of, and it's becoming more a part of the way that we do work here in the United States as well as across the globe.
And with that, we've seen some of the headlines around the Great Resignation,
sure,
right? And we see this a bit at the large corporations we work with, but it doesn't seem like it's a permanent thing.
Right.
So what's happening to those people that have left their jobs now and are possibly looking for work?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a period of time, obviously, because of the impact of COVID, where we were recalibrating, if you will, right? And one report says that up to 3 million jobs are available for, that are not being filled. For 3 million workers are not in the workforce currently. But I don't look at it as much of a great resignation as much more of a great realignment of the way we think about work, especially as it pertains to individuals and what they value in terms of work. So you come out of COVID, right, and you have to rethink your priorities a little bit, just as part of dealing with that crisis. And now people are going back to the workforce saying, I want to have my priorities be aligned and my work to be aligned to those priorities. So things like greater flexibility, caring a lot about the work-life balance are important. And so if you're a company trying to find workers during this supposed great resignation, you're going to also need to align to the workers' values, right? For us, it hasn't been a great resignation at all. We've continued to post tens of thousands of shifts month over month, and we're seeing tons of activity from workers that are coming back to the workforce or have stayed steady in the workforce throughout this whole thing. So,
and then for the gig economy, what do employees do about the benefits if they want? They have the family, they have health issues, etc. How do you think about that element?
So benefits are an important topic for the gig economy right now. There's a lot of new services and options being presented because of this increasing size of the workforce. But the one thing I like to point out is benefits are not number one to these individuals. As I mentioned, there's a realignment of values, and the first thing for them is being able to have that flexibility and get their pay quickly. We do provide options for workers to have benefits on our platform, but they also care about a lot of other things as well. Things like the type of work environment that they're going to. Number one, the biggest lever that companies can pull is make sure that their wages are competitive. And then they need to look at the various ways that they're posting shift times, because schedules are different now than they used to be. And people need that flexibility to work when they can work. And so having some flexibility around that, making sure you're competitive, and then the small things even matter. Things like, can I wear my headphones at work and listen to music? What is the break room snacks like? for individuals that are working hard in these types of environments, they care about those little details, they care about the place they're going. And we care about that a lot as well as a company, that we're providing great opportunities for people to not only work and get their pay, but level up along the way.
Yeah. Well, that your intention and how much you care comes through in this conversation and the great work you're doing. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to continuing to watch Bacon scale and grow on this journey.
Thanks so much for having me, and always inviting us to share our thoughts and ideas, and it's been a pleasure to share that with you.
Great.